There's a fine line between right and wrong. And somewhere in the shadows, they send us in to find it.
What is up, and welcome back. It's Skovos bringing you another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video today. And in today's video, we're going to be going over my favorite search and destroy setup for the M4 assault rifle. So the very first thing we're going to touch base on is what field upgrade to use. And there's a lot of choices here, but I feel like the first and most obvious choice, and really the only one you should be using in search and destroy, is going to be dead silence. And the reason behind this is because it makes you extremely quiet, it has a recharge rate of fast, and not a lot of people seem to realize this, but gun, melee, and throwing knife kills also refresh their duration, allowing you to be in dead silence for longer periods of time. Now, when do you use dead silence? Dead silence is perfect to pop right before you get in a battle, right before sneaking behind enemy lines, before planting or defusing the bomb, especially if you're rush planting or ninja defusing. It is a perfect tool for just about any sticky situation. It's also great for escaping those sticky situations. If most of your teammates are down and not a lot of the enemy teammates have died, then you can pop this, escape, and then re-engage when you feel ready. And the next thing we're going to go over is the killstreak selections. So my personal favorite is going to be the 4 killstreak UAV, 5 killstreak cruise missile, and 8 killstreak VTOL jet. Now, some other choices here is going to be personal radar, but the reason I'm pointing this one out specifically is because not a lot of people realize this either, but using personal radar does give away your position. So the personal radar will fly around your approximate location, and if you're behind enemy lines, especially on search and destroy, or if you're last alive and you use this, the entire team, if they're paying attention or if they're smart enough, will realize where you are in relativity to the radar. So be careful if you're using this, and it's also relatively easy to shoot down, as you can just use a normal gun, and a rocket launcher or something along those lines is not necessary. Now, for UAV, a lot of people do use Ghost, but you would also be surprised how many people don't run Ghost in Search and Destroy. And for me, getting a 4 kill streak is not that difficult. I'm very good at Search and Destroy, and I don't talk highly of myself at many things, but Search and Destroy is something that I'm very confident in. That's why I run the 4, 5, and 8 kill streaks. So maybe if you're not comfortable with getting 8 kills, throwing that 3 kill streak personal radar is definitely a choice. Or throwing on a 7 kill streak, but personally I don't really like any of these 7 kill streaks, as I don't find them that useful. But moving on into the cruise missile. Cruise missile is definitely easily 100% my favorite kill streak out of any of these, just because while using the cruise missile, you can also call out every location of every enemy that you see. Take your time while deploying the cruise missile, call out those enemies to your teammates, and then you can easily pick one off. This is almost a guaranteed kill every single time you use it. So as it's coming down, you can target that sniper head glitching in the back, the camper in the building if you can manage to get in a doorway or a window if they've just been there every single round, or it can come in clutch by killing somebody trying to defuse or plant the bomb if you're outnumbered. So if you have a cruise missile up and you're the last alive and the bomb is down, you can run away, pop that cruise missile, and kill any enemies trying to defuse, and that buys you some time, enough time to hopefully hold off the timer and win that round. Other good choices obviously are going to be precision airstrike and cluster strike. You can drop these on the bomb you just planted, a bomb that they're trying to defuse, or a bomb that the enemy team is rushing. So this definitely holds off the bomb site for quite a good period of time, but does not give you the ability to call out every single enemy location. And if you're only targeting one person, it is very hit or miss whether you're actually going to get that kill or not. As for the VTOL jet, this is probably the strongest kill streak within reason on Search and Destroy. Obviously, any of the ones above this are very powerful, but the VTOL jet is extremely loud, and that's probably the biggest perk of it. So the VTOL flying around forces people indoors and then causes an atrocious amount of noise, and it's just ridiculous how loud this is. If you haven't played with this on Search and Destroy, give it a shot and pay attention to how you cannot hear anything at all. So if you're using this, you can pop your dead silence and pretty much do whatever you want, because nobody's going to expect or know where you're coming from for that matter. So now moving into our loadouts specifically, obviously my favorite M4 class setup is going to have the M4 assault rifle, but for the secondary across the board is going to be a combat knife. And the reason for using the combat knife is because you can pull it out off spawn and double sprint with it, getting the fastest movement speed possible. So I definitely use the combat knife anytime I go to rush plant or anytime I try to push up and grab a position I like to hold, waiting for the attackers or defenders to cross my line of sight. Another choice I use across the board is going to be the lethal Semtex grenade. And the reason I choose the Semtex grenade over all of the other lethals is because claymores, I feel like they're cheap. C4 takes too long to use in my opinion. Frag grenades can bounce around sporadically, and Molotovs and thermites are too hit or miss whether you're actually going to get a kill or not. The throwing knife is very precise, and I miss way too often with those. And proximity mine also feels like a claymore, and it's kind of cheap to use in search and destroy. If you use those, nothing against you, but I prefer the Semtex in just about every way, shape, and form. The Semtex, again, does not bounce around sporadically, so you can throw this in a room, know that it's going to stay in the room. If you stick an enemy, it's a guaranteed kill for the most part. And then it's also good against riot shielders, and there's a lot of riot shielders running around in search and destroy, so you can definitely use this to your advantage. It's also great for spawn nading certain areas or throwing it at vehicles and cars in order to get the kills that you want. So now moving on into the M4 attachments specifically. As for the muzzle brake, we're going to be using the compensator because the compensator aggressively fights the muzzle climb of any weapon. So I throw this on every single assault rifle to counteract that recoil. So its pro is greatly reducing the recoil, and cons are aim down sight speed and aiming stability. Now aim down sight speed is not very important when you're playing a class like this because you should already be aim down sights before engaging in any battle at any point in time, especially in search and destroy. So focus on that, focus on aiming in before you get in a fight and not after or during. Now for aiming stability, that's going to be the sway on your weapon. So the sway is also, again, not that noticeable and not that important because you really don't notice it that often, and it's not hard to counteract. So for the barrel, I use the Corvus Custom Marksman because it increases the damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, again at the cost of aim down sight speed and a con of movement speed as well. But this is not a running gun class, so the move speed here is not a big deal. And again, we use the knife as our secondary, so if you want to move around quickly, that's going to be your go-to. Now, in terms of stats, the Grenadier barrel is definitely better than the Corvus Custom Marksman, but I do not like the way the Grenadier barrel looks, and I love the way the Corvus Custom Marksman looks, so I choose this purely out of cosmetic reasons. For the optical sight, I use the GI Mini Reflex. Any reflex sight will be great here, but I choose the GI because I really like the way it looks. Again, personal preference here. Now it's got a very small bezel, so I'll give this a shot if you enjoy those reflex sights. A choice here for the stock if you want aim walking movement speed is going to be the Invader stock. Now this stock is very good and allows you to move quicker while you're aim down sights and will cancel out any movement penalties from the other attachments. But personally, I don't really use that because I'm a slow player with the M4 and I really love search and destroy, and search and destroy is a slow game mode in general. If you're running gunning, you're risking too much because you only have that one life. So if you're not a really good player running gunning, then slow is the way to go. For your rear grip, the rubberized grip tape is my choice here, again for recoil control. And the other choice, a strong choice, is the stippled grip tape because it increases aim down sight speed and cancels out the reduction from other attachments and increases your sprint to fire speed. So if you are sprinting around, this gives you a chance to aim down sights much faster and shoot faster at the same time, at the cost of aiming stability. But if you're sprinting and need to shoot quickly, the odds of you caring about your aiming stability is not going to be that important because you're not going to be shooting at long ranges in these situations. But this is more for the run and gun movement-based M4 classes, and this is not one of those ones where you're going to be sprinting around a lot. This is going to be holding down an area, defending or attacking a bomb site, moving up slowly, and taking out any enemies in your path. For underbarrel, this is pretty much a go-to, and most pros and most players use this in general. So the Ranger foregrip is an easy first choice here. It reduces your recoil by a lot and increases your aiming stability. So that also cancels out some negatives from other attachments. And the cons for this is going to be aim down sight speed and aim walking movement speed. So you won't be able to move as quickly while aiming down sights, and you won't be able to aim down sights as quick, but the negatives here are very small compared to the positives. And again, this is not a run and gun class, so those aren't going to affect you very much in this situation. If you want a run and gun class, this entire M4 setup is going to be completely different. And that will wrap up the video for today. I want to thank you for stopping by. Please click that subscribe button. It really does help me out quite a bit, and it'll help me help you by putting out more quality content. And if you did like the video, you can also click that thumbs up button. If you did not like the video, you're more than welcome to click the thumbs down as well. And as always, let me know what you think below in the comment section. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on all of this. And if you want to know right when my videos go live, you're more than welcome to click the bell icon to get notified when they do right away. And just a heads up for all of my followers, subscribers, and my loyal viewers across all of my social media channels, I will be rolling out my YouTube membership very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that join button on my YouTube channel. This is going to include exclusive giveaways, extra entries for those giveaways, exclusive playtime for some of the tiers with me on any game that you want, and other various rewards. I'm also open to suggestions and ideas from all of you still sticking around this video long enough to hear me talk about this. As always, I hope you have a good evening, morning, night, afternoon, or whatever it is, wherever you are, but thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you in my next videos.